Welcome to Research Ready by Doc Lin. Once again, this is the part 2 of the topic research approach. I hope that you will learn again from this video. Kung nakapag-identify ka na ng iyong research approach, you have to justify your methodological choices. When you use qualitative approach, if applicable, explain why a qualitative approach was chosen. Focusing on understanding of the experiences, behaviors, or phenomena. If you use quantitative approach, discuss why a quantitative approach was selected because it focused on measurement, comparison, and statistical analysis. When you have chosen mixed methods, justify the use of mixed methods approach and how it combines the strengths of both the qualitative and quantitative approaches. Elaborate pa natin kung paano kayo pipili ng approach. Halimbawa, you have used quantitative approach. So, meron tayong tinatawag na number 1, measurement and quantification. If your research requires precise measurement of variables and quantification of data, the best ang quantitative approach. Examples include studies needing statistical analysis, such as surveys with large samples to measure trends, techniques, or correlations. Halimbawa, gagamit ka ng survey na merong large sample size. Ang study mo ay consumer behavior studies. You can have surveys with large sample size so that you can understand the consumer behavior such ang variable mo ay yung kanilang purchasing habits, yung kanilang preferences, at kanilang opinions. Pwede ka rin magkaroon ng public opinion polls. Large sample size used to gauge public opinion on various issues. Kunyari, political views, social attitudes, and economic trends. Pwede mo rin gamitin ang employee satisfaction survey sa large sample size para ma-measure mo yung employee satisfaction, engagement, morale in organization. Aside from survey, on measurement and quantification, dapat alam mo rin yung statistical analysis. Particularly yung tinatawag nating descriptive statistics. Statistical analysis which used to describe and summarize data. Kunyari, ika-calculate mo yung mean, yung median, or yung standard deviations or commonly known as SD. Pwede rin yung tinatawag nating inferential statistics. Ginagamit naman ito when you want to make inferences about a larger population based on a sample. Nagtitest ka ng hypothesis at ine-estimate mo yung population parameters. Pangatlo, pwede ka rin gumamit ng regression analysis o para ma-examine mo yung relationship ng variables such as identifying correlations and predicting outcomes. Ang susunod naman ay yung tinatawag nating generalizability. When the aim is to generalize findings from a sample to a larger population, the best pa rin ang quantitative methods. Hindi mo po pwedeng gamitin ng quali sa ganitong paraan. It allows for the application of inferential statistics to make broad claims based on a sample data. Katulad ng binigay ko example kanina, yung consumer behavior, nagkaroon ka ng survey tungkol doon. It can be used to generalize findings from a sample of consumers to a larger population, which allows a broader claims about consumer behavior and preferences. Pangalawang example yung binigay ko kanina, yung public opinion polls. It can also generalize findings from a sample of respondents to a larger population, which enables the estimation of public opinion trends and attitudes. Ang pangatlo naman ay hypothesis testing. If your study is designed to test specific hypotheses or theories, yung controlled at saka structured methods ang gagamitin mo, syempre the best din dito ang quantitative, which is really very appropriate. Examples include experiments and clinical trials where yung variables mo can be manipulated and measured. Kunyari, magkakanta ka ng study tungkol sa effect ng exercise sa blood pressure. Gagawa ka ng iyong hypothesis. Pwede mong sabihin na ang regular exercise reduce blood pressure in individuals with hypertension. Anong gagamitin naming method, ma'am? You can randomly assign participants. For example, 100 respondents with hypertension to either an exercise group or a control group, or commonly known as experimental and control group. I-measure mo yung blood pressure nila before and after a 12-week exercise program. Pareho sila. Sa data analysis mo, you can now compare the mean of the blood pressure changes between the two groups using t-test as part of the statistical analysis. If the exercise group shows a statistical significant decrease in blood pressure, sinusupport nito yung iyong hypothesis, which is regular exercises reduces blood pressure in individuals with hypertension. Another example, ang study mo ay yung efficacy ng new medication. Ang pwede mong gawing hypothesis ay the new medication is more effective in treating depression than the standard treatment. Anong pwede mong gamiting method? Maaari uli na makakuha ka or mag-randomly assign ka ng 200 respondents mo na may depression to either the new medication group or the standard treatment group. I-measure mo yung symptoms ng depression using a standardized scale before and after 6-week treatment period. Part ng data analysis mo, i-compare mo uli yung mean ng symptom ng scores between the two groups using t-test. If new medication group shows na merong statistically significant improvement sa symptoms, ibig sabihin, yung hypothesis mo ay supported ng iyong pag-aaral. Punta naman tayo dito sa qualitative approach. Number 1, sa qualitative approach, dapat alam mo yung exploration and understanding. Qualitative methods are chosen when the goal or objective is to explore a complex phenomena, understand meanings, and gain insights into people's experiences and behaviors. Ito'y ideal for case studies, ethnographies, phenomenological research, grounded theory, narrative. So ito yung mga common na research design pagdating sa qualitative. Kunyari, nagkaroon ka ng case study. At ang case study mo, ang title mo ay Thriving Among Filipino Youth with Religious Sparks. Pwedeng maging part ng research question mo, paano ba nakakaramdam ng thriving ang mga kabataang Pilipino na may religious spark sa kanilang araw-araw na buhay? Pwedeng ang maging method mo dito, magkakandak ka ng in-depth interviews. Kunyari, nag-purposeful sampling ka ng 11 Filipino adolescents, ages 15 to 20 years old, na identified mo na merong deep interest, hobby, or talent na naka-anchor sa specific institutional beliefs, practices, or traditions. Ibig sabihin, nagsiset ka ng iyong criteria kung paano mo pipiliin ang iyong participants. Sa data analysis mo, pwede kang mag-employ ng Interpretative Phenomenological Analysis or commonly known as IPA para ma-explore mo yung understanding ng participants tungkol sa kanilang experiences at yung meanings related to thriving. The study aimed also to capture the multiplicity and diversity of participants' subjective experiences. Ina-acknowledge ng study mo yung importance ng cultural at historical concepts sa kanilang mga experiences. Flexibility, which cannot be done using a quantitative approach. Qualitative research is suitable for studies that require flexibility and adaptability in data collection analysis. Kasi inaalaw niya si researcher na pwede niyang i-adjust yung methods niya habang ikinakandak niya yung kanyang study. And these are very useful in exploratory research. Example, kung gusto mong malaman kung ano yung nararamdaman ng mga students sa isang bagong programa sa school, maaari kang gumamit ng qualitative research. So, imbis na magbigay ka ng fixed na tanong sa survey mo, you can make an open-ended interview na nagbibigay daan sa mga estudyante na i-share nila yung kanilang insight at experiences ng merong freedom. Habang nagpapatuloy yung mga interview, maaari mong i-adjust yung mga tanong batay sa mga lumabas na tema at insights. Halimbawa, kung natuklasan mong maraming estudyante ang nag-aalala sa transportation, maaari mong palawigin yung conversation tungkol dito at alamin mo yung mga suggestions nila. Yung flexibility ng data collection at analysis is the number one benefits of qualitative research. Lalo na kung ang gagawin mo ay exploratory, kung saan hindi mo pa alam kung ano yung mga issue o tema na mahalaga sa mga kalahok. Let's proceed on mixed methods approach. Number one on mixed methods approach is comprehensive perspective. It combines the strengths of both quantitative and qualitative approaches. Kaya nakakapag-provide din siya ng a more comprehensive understanding of the research problem. And it also allows triangulation of data, which enhance the validity of findings. Example, kung gusto mong malaman kung gaano or paano makakatulong ang mga programa sa health sa isang community na merong may mataas na rate ng diabetes, pwede kang gumamit ng mixed methods research. Una, pwede kang gumawa ng interview at focus group sa mga doktor, sa nurses, at sa mga patients para malaman mo yung kanilang saloobin or yung karanasan nila sa health program at kung paano ito nakakatulong sa mga pasyente. Pagkatapos, maaari kang gumawa ng survey base sa resulta ng iyong pag-i-interview at gumawa ka ng statistical analysis upang malaman kung gaano karaming mga pasyente ang nakikinabang dito sa program na to at gaano siya ka-effective. Ibig sabihin, inuna mo yung tinatawag nating exploratory. Sinundan mo siya ng explanatory or yung data in a quantitative way na nag-i-explain sa yung qualitative data. So, pinagsama mo yung qualitative at quantitative data para makakuha ka ng comprehensive opinions sa epekto ng health programs at kung paano ito makakatulong sa community. Commonly, paggagamit ka ng mixed method approach, ang design na ito ay tinatawag na exploratory sequential mixed methods. Second, gagamit ka ng mixed methods when there is a complex research questions. When research questions are complex and cannot be addressed by quantitative or qualitative methods alone, mixed methods approach is appropriate. Example, it studies that need both numerical data and deep contextual understanding. Pangatlo ay yung tinatawag nating complementarity. This approach is beneficial when the quantitative data needs to be supplemented with qualitative insights to explain trends and patterns. Because we all know, kapag gumawa tayo ng quantitative research at nag-present ka ng table, once na nandyan yung table at result, it's already fixed. Sometimes, there are things which needs to be explained and qualitative is the best way to do that. Ito yung ginagamit upang magbigay ng detalye tungkol sa mga experiences ng individual or group na po pwedeng maging daan para magkaroon ka ng comprehensive interpretation at implication sa iyong quantitative data. Ang pang-apat naman ay yung tinatawag nating pace-wise research. Mixed methods are useful in pace-wise research where initial qualitative findings can inform quantitative bases or vice versa. Ang usually example or commonly ang example ng basic mixed methods approach ay exploratory sequential design, explanatory sequential designs, or yung tinatawag nating convergent or concurrent parallel design. Alignment with research questions. As a researcher, you have to detail how the chosen research approach addresses the specific research questions of your study. I'll give you examples. So, example, the question is, what are the experiences of Russian immigrants trying to communicate in English? Based on the stated research question, it's obvious that it is a qualitative research. Next are the benefits and limitations. I will have another lesson video on this topic. I'll give you specific details and information on the benefits and limitations of quali, quanti, and mixed methods. But for now, when we talk about benefits, it highlights the advantages of your chosen research approach in the context of your study. When we talk about limitation, as a researcher, you have to acknowledge any potential limitations or challenges associated with the approach that you are using, but you have to plan how are you going to address them. At dyan natatapos ang part 2 ng ating learning video sa research approach. At bago natin tapusin ang video na ito, sagutin muna natin ang learning assessment. Kung nakatulong sa iyo ang video na ito, please like, share, and subscribe para updated ka sa mga latest lesson videos. Always remember, we unlock insights to empower your minds. Thanks for watching!